After 2 consecutive away games in World Cup qualifying, the USA looks for some home field advantage tonight in Birmingham versus Guatemala. On Sunday, the USA had high hopes, searching for their first ever win in Mexico. But mistakes proved to be costly, with Borghetti first. Then Zenia punishing the American side within minutes. A second-half goal by veteran midfielder Eddie Lewis made the game closer. And Casey Keller did his best in goal, but in the end, the U.S. came up empty. Tonight, the scene shifts to a home venue as the U.S. looks to get back to their winning ways versus Guatemala. World Cup qualifying is next. World Cup qualifying continues tonight from Birmingham, Alabama. The USA are glad to be back on home soil tonight. The U.S. will take on Guatemala, one of 3 games going on today in CONCACAF. One of them is already a final. Trinidad and Tobago getting their first point in this final round as they got a tie today with Costa Rica. Mexico will play Panama later on. And a pleasant good evening, everyone. Welcome to Birmingham along with Marcelo Balboa. I'm JP Delacamera. Say what you want about the game on Sunday in Mexico City, Cello, but really a couple of mistakes basically did the United States in.
Yeah, they really did. I mean, that's something when you play away from home, you can't happen. You basically got to play 90 minutes of flawless soccer, and if you do make a mistake, you got to hope somebody's going to cover you up. And this is what we talk about, ball watching. Onyewu gets caught ball watching. You leave the best header on the Mexican team alone inside the box, and he punishes you for it, puts him up 1-0. And in minutes, you can't have it happen. You make 2 big mistakes, and it just kind of like a domino effect, one after another. Pablo Mastroianni in the circle right there. Let Zenia go. Now you see Onyewu sitting right there. He should be back covering the space, and he doesn't cover it. He takes off late, and look at the space Zenia has right in the middle of the field. You leave that with a goal scorer like him, he's going to put it in the back of the corner, and he does. In a matter of minutes, the U.S. goes down 2-0.
And the U.S. will have to be careful about mistakes tonight because this is a guy that can punish them as well. Carlos Ruiz, well, he used to play for the LA Galaxy, who's traded today to FC Dallas. More on that in this game when we come back to Birmingham. When the USA takes on Guatemala, there will be some changes in the lineup that was on display on Sunday, starting with this guy, Brian Ching, up top with Eddie Johnson.
U.S. was coming out in a little different lineup in a 4-4-2, different they played against Mexico. In goal, Casey Keller, the captain for today's game. In the back, replacing Greg Berhalter is Corey Gibbs. Midfield, you're going to play 4. The key today is Ralston, number 14, Eddie Lewis, number 7, trying to get up and down the wing. And up front, a little different to help Eddie Johnson, is going to be Brian Ching. So 2 up front for the U.S. tonight.
Well, they talk about a home field advantage, but I'm telling you, there's a lot of blue and white jerseys in the crowd supporting Guatemala. World Cup qualifying up next from Birmingham.
Alabama, get away, get away. Alabama, get away, get away. Only way to please, just sit down and walk away.
ESPN2's presentation of U.S. soccer is brought to you by Budweiser, the bright color and crisp, clean taste you'll only find in the king of beers. And by Philips. Technology should be as simple as the box it comes in. Welcome back to Birmingham. Temperature-wise, you're looking at 72 degrees. There is a great chance, though, of rain tonight in the forecast. All in all, at least at the start of the night, great conditions for soccer. The field looks in nice shape as well. Guatemala will be in blue, United States in white. This one is underway. USA coming off that 2-1 loss Sunday in Mexico City. Guatemala on Saturday, a 5-1 trouncing versus Trinidad and Tobago as the USA clears up front. They'll have Ching and Johnson. They played with 1 forward the other day in Mexico City, so that's already 1 change. Long ball from Bocanegra. On a bounce, Trigueño is there. Starting lineups for Guatemala. Trigueño gets another start in goal.
They're going to play a 4-4-2. Not going to come out very fast. In the back, Melgard is very key. Cabrera is another guy. 2 guys that have to hold up the middle. In the midfield, you got a few guys that are very key. Ramiro and Ramirez are the guys that are going to go forward. Very good players in speed. And up front, Ruiz and Pesarossi.
On that foul, it'll be a free kick for Guatemala. We would like to thank Budweiser and all of our U.S. soccer sponsors for allowing us to bring you this game without interruption. On the far side, the play is broken up by Bocanegra. The starter with his club side, Fulham, in the Premiership. They're struggling right now in 16th place. Bocanegra, long throw in. Knotted down. Eddie Johnson keeps it moving towards the corner. The cross is coming. Trigueño nearly got caught. Knotted down by Ralston. Quick shot stopped inside the 18 and cleared out for a corner. The U.S. hoping with Bruce Arena's team to get those crosses in. One of them was a good one there.
And this is a typical U.S. This is what you like to see the U.S. do at home. Come out, put high pressure, put Guatemala on the heel, see if they can get one early. The first 15 minutes are going to be very important for the U.S. after the last game against Mexico.
Steve Ralston will take it. Went near side, headed away by Guatemala. Ruiz was going after it. It will deflect out of play. A throw-in coming up for Guatemala. There's Landon Donovan. Press conference tomorrow in Los Angeles. Speculation, the worst kept secret. Donovan will be coming back to Major League Soccer and joining the LA Galaxy. More on that later. U.S. controlling. Play is allowed to continue. No fouls called there. Cleared upfield by Ralston. Eddie Johnson, who turns 21 tomorrow, will hold. Couple of steps there. Johnson played it back. One fake, then the ball is pushed in deeper. Ralston looks up. Crosses on the left foot. It's there. It's headed up wide. Ralston headed it for Brian Ching, who's got some talent in the air.
And this is what Bruce Arena wants. Down the wings, get some crosses, and the U.S. is a much bigger team. Great cutback by Ralston. Look at the ball spinning right in there. Here's Ching right there. Gets up. Good battle and just puts it wide. But that's what the U.S. has to do. They have to be more offensive-minded. They have to get into the attack. They have to put Guatemala, and the pressure they're putting on right now is what Bruce Arena wanted.
Guatemala holding it on the far side, and it will go out of play. That is Mario Rodriguez. Let's check out what is on Bruce Arena's checklist for today.
And like we talked, establishing the flank, attacking down the flanks is going to be very key. Denying Ruiz the ball, that is huge. The back heel has to do a good job at controlling the tempo of the game. So far, that is going to be the key. 3 keys for the U.S. to be successful.
Guatemala coming back. Carlos Ruiz, 8 goals in 8 World Cup qualifying games. One of the more prolific goal scorers anywhere. Sent to the far side, inside the box of the United States. Pesarossi, cleared away by the U.S. Long shot taken, easily stopped by Casey Keller, wearing the captain's armband today. That is Guatemala's head coach, Ramon Maradiaga, a former player with Honduras, and he guided Honduras in the last round of World Cup qualifying for the 2002 World Cup. That is Dennis Chen, who left the game against Trinidad early with an injury. So there was some question as to whether or not he would play today, but he's in the starting lineup. Deflected out by the United States. Throw in for Guatemala. That is Steve Ralston getting a start today. His 21st international appearance for the United States. And Guatemala will give up possession. Cherundolo on the throw-in. Pressure there from Guatemala. Chen knotting it down, headed forward. Johnson in the air, has some help. And it's deflected away. Right at the halfway line. Johnson coming back, checking back for it. And that hit a teammate, Cherundolo, and it goes out. Quick throw in there by Ramirez. Ruiz trying to turn inside. Keller is there to clear it away. Casey Keller, a couple of great saves in that second half against Mexico. Kept the game close. This portion of the match brought to you by Phillips. Long Guatemala throw-in. That's cleared away. Brought down by Ruiz. And the flag was up. On the bench for the United States, a quick look at them. Greg Berhalter was in the starting lineup the other day. Brian McBride, a veteran, if they want that up front. Claudio Reyna not suited up today, tweaked an ankle on Sunday, and of course DeMarcus Beasley suspended. And that for picking up his second yellow card in qualifying. Bocanegra going long. Eddie Lewis, the cross, and that's cleared away by Pablo Melgar. Sent inside, intended for Ching. And I thought that was a foul. No call there as Donovan was pushed down. Instead, Bocanegra has to chase back against Ruiz. They played against each other in Major League Soccer. Carlos Bocanegra, when he flies back to his club side in Fulham, when you see when he started the trip from Fulham, went to Colorado Springs, Mexico City, and all of his travels, he will have gone about 12,000 aerial miles. And he's going to play in the weekend. The U.S. trying to move it forward, but Guatemala checks that back. Freddie Thompson, number 7. That's cleared away by the U.S. Ralston holding. Cherundolo up the wing. Ralston, he'll be on one side. Eddie Lewis on the other. Ralston trying to go to the middle. That one's deflected away. The last touch by Ralston. On the Guatemala bench, among the players that could make an impact, Juan Carlos Plata, number 15, the most capped player with 70, the most goals in the team's history, 35, and the oldest player in the team, age 34.
You can see tonight's a little different than it was against Mexico. U.S. is pushing up, high press, and not letting them come out of the back and establish a passing game. They're putting up, letting them knock the ball from the keeper.
Going inside, collision there. And Trigueño is right there.
And that's what they want. Landon Donovan splitting through. They want Landon getting involved more. Landon needs to get the ball. He wasn't really involved until the second half of the Mexico game. He needs to get involved for 90 minutes. They need to find him with the ball, and he needs to put himself in good position so he can get the ball.
Bocanegra's on the chase, along with Nestor Martinez, who plays for the club side Comunicaciones, which is the most famous club in Guatemala. Freddie Thompson holding it. USA and Guatemala scoreless in the 9th minute. They've not played each other in over 4 years. And they'll play each other again during this round-robin final round of World Cup qualifying. Bocanegra will have a throw in on the far side. Long left-footed boot ahead towards Ching. Settled at the halfway line. Guatemala shifting it across. Guillermo Ramirez wearing the captain's band. He'll play this year for the LA Galaxy. That's broken up. Pushed forward. Ching coming back. Nearly gave that ball away. Stepping up nicely, though, was Mascaretti. Lewis lays it back. Into the middle. Corey Gibbs, who was a starter with his Dutch side, Feyenoord. Lewis cutting it back. Mascaretti. Mascaretti lays it back. Eddie Lewis goes in 2 straight qualifiers. Johnson gets the giveaway. Long shot from Donovan is blocked. Going long again, but Trigueño lets it go wide. Press conference for tomorrow, Cello. His club side, Bayer Leverkusen, has said that he is gone. He is going to Major League Soccer. When you put it all together, press conference in L.A., everyone expects the announcement to be made tomorrow that he'll play on the weekend against Columbus.
Yeah. Rumors are flying. You don't know 100%, but
here's a chance for Johnson. Off the post and in.
See the build-up right here, the little layoff. Eddie Johnson, great job, takes it to his left foot all by himself. And that's what we talked about. You can't leave the middle of the field open. Good touch here by Eddie Johnson. Look at everybody splits open. He's got a great look at the goal and puts the U.S. up 1-0 in the 11th minute.
Well, he's matching Ruiz, 8 goals in 8 international appearances. The goal coming in the 11th minute for Eddie Johnson, who will be a teammate of Carlos Ruiz now that the Dallas club has acquired him from the LA Galaxy. That happened today, that trade. Ball played inside the box, and that's cleared away. Eddie Johnson will pick it up and lay it off. Played long into space. Long run there. Ching brought it down. Cut off by Melgar. Kept it in, gave it away to Ching. If Trigueño was not alert there, it could have been 2-0.
That's a risky play right there. That's a real simple play. Knock it out, get a corner. You almost put yourself in a hole 2-0 by trying to pass the ball from 5 yards back to the goalkeeper.
Eddie Johnson plays it back. Mastroeni crossed the way. It's on Eddie Lewis's side. Attacking the goal. A takedown, but no foul. Well, the referee from Trinidad is letting some things go. Ramesh Ramdan on both sides of the ball. Pushed up now on the left side. Again, it's Lewis cutting inside. Lewis with a shot. Stopped by Trigueño.
That's what we talked about earlier. They want the guys on the outside being active, getting upfield. You see Eddie Lewis gets the ball, comes inside, hits a shot with his right foot, doesn't get a good shot off, but that's what they want. They want him to move inside. They want to move out to create opportunities.
Guatemala coming back in the lane. Rodriguez across in front, and it got by a couple of players. Number 19, Mario Rodriguez, just joining the Columbus Crew. He'll be playing this 2005 season with them, formerly with Municipal in Guatemala. 1-0 USA leading on an Eddie Johnson goal. Johnson continues a tremendous strike ratio, unlike any other goal scorer in U.S. soccer history at the start of their careers. Mastroeni. Nice move there by the veteran from Colorado. Some jersey tugging. Mastroeni gets caught. Now he chases. And now the foul in the United States. The U.S. trying to intercept on the far side. Melgar picks that off. Bodies are flying now.
But I tell you what, you got to like the fact that Guatemala's not sitting back. They've been playing with a lot of confidence. They beat Trinidad. They're coming in here. They got some confidence. They're not sitting back. They're down 1-0, and they're still pushing the game. You got to like that.
Ramirez pass. Pesarossi. One of the things the USA was concentrating on was to deny Ruiz the ball, and so far they've managed to do a pretty good job of that in the first half, but it's only nearly 15 minutes old. A lot of time still in the first half. This one off a deflection on the turn, and a takedown there. No foul was called again. Long shot over Keller and wide as well. Goal kick coming up.
Let's go back and take a look at the goal again. You can just see the ball going through, and this is what I like. Right in here, if you keep going just a little more, you'll see Lander receive the ball, and you stop right there. Look at the diagonal run he makes into there. Leaves 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders behind. Opens up the whole middle of the field, and that's what the U.S. is looking for. To make diagonal runs, take the defender away, play right into that spot.
On the left side, the U.S. attacking again. Trigueño coming back. Settled by Ralston. Straight up it goes. U.S. looking for it. Ralston will bring it down. On the turn, going inside. Ching lays it off. Donovan, nice touch. Ralston, a toe poke. Wanted to give and go there with Johnson. Instead, it goes back to the halfway line. Corey Gibbs defending against Ruiz. Donovan plays it across. Cherundolo went down, trying to bounce back up. Donovan. Right side, advancing. Cherundolo, the cross. Johnson in the air, couldn't get to it. Mastroeni settled it on the left side. Bocanegra, Eddie Lewis. And that's cleared out. Throw in, USA. Couldn't ask for better numbers from Eddie Johnson in World Cup qualifying, 7 goals, but in international appearances, a goal a game pace, 8 for 8 so far. The U.S. finding Johnson again. Playing it back. Settled. Long shot way up. Landon Donovan taking that shot. There's Carlos Ruiz. FC Dallas, that's right. They announced that deal earlier today. This is the guy with the press conference tomorrow. ESPN News will have coverage of that press conference tomorrow in Los Angeles. This portion of the match brought to you by Home Depot. 17th minute. USA up 1-0 on an Eddie Johnson goal. Looking for more. Ralston looks up. Played it across. Deflected wide. Corner kick, U.S.
And that's what the U.S. wants to do. They get the ball wide. Look at the run diagonal. They want to expose the outsides. That's where we got to see a lot of attacking tonight.
Corner kick from Ralston. Headed across as a pass. Bicycle kick. You can appreciate those. That's Brian Ching, comeback player of the year last year in Major League Soccer, tied with Eddie Johnson with the most goals.
Great job. Ball gets deflected up. Look at Ching. He sees the space, creates just enough room, gets up, just hits it off his toe. We'll take him in tomorrow and maybe show him a little better.
All right. Way to go. Brian Ching, Hawaiian-born player. Looking to make an impact on the national team. O'Neal is on the chase. Cleared out by Bocanegra. Mr. Martinez was over there on that far side as well. 19th minute. World Cup qualifying in Birmingham, Alabama. Guatemala's cross. That's off the mark and cleared away by the United States. They try to send Johnson on the counter. Eddie Johnson heads it forward. Looks for some room there. Melgar covers, gets some help. And a takedown there. How about a card to Romero? Not even a foul? Wow.
Eddie Johnson's got 2 guys. He attracts attention. Tough to see if that's a foul or not. Referee's right there. You say you really can't see if he gets the ball, if Eddie lets himself fall.
U.S. holding it up. Far side now. Lewis on the run. Trying to cut inside. That was stopped by Cabrera. And that one went out. Gustavo Cabrera from Comunicaciones. Bocanegra settles for the United States all the way back to Casey Keller. On the far side, Martinez. And out it goes again for a throw-in for the United States. First kick of season 10. MLS gets underway this Saturday live at 3 Eastern on ABC Sports. Defending champs DC United with Freddie Adu taking on Chivas USA. Eric Winalda, Brandy Chastain, and I from the Home Depot Center and the MLS debut of Skycam. That's all on Saturday.
Can I say finally? Feels like I've been waiting for the longest time for the 10th season to start.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people didn't think the league would ever get to 10 years.
Yeah, as players we did. As players we knew. Once it started.
Bocanegra. This portion of the match brought to you by Phillips. The USA holding. Onyewu. Cherundolo. Ralston back for Cherundolo. Holding. Played it all the way across. Knotted down by Ching. Mastroeni cracks it first time. But it's high and wide of Trigueño. Pablo Mastroeni, a bit of a different role today, Cello. The other day, sitting back with Claudio Reyna. Different opportunities here for him today.
I like him in a 4-4-2. He has an opportunity to go forward. If Landon stays, Paul will go. You have to be able to spring your defensive midfield every once in a while because the other team is not expecting him to go forward. He goes forward. He surprises people. I like the 4-4-2 better than the 3-2-3-1.
Johnson will play it on the left. Lewis the drive, and that's blocked. Lewis. Across, diving header, high and wide. That's Cherundolo. Those crosses, though, Cello, are getting in.
And that's what we're talking about. You even have your right back screaming through the box, taking a diving header, trying to get in there. This is what the U.S. wants to do. They want to put pressure. When you got Cherundolo coming from the right back position, diving in there, trying to get ahead on the ball, that's what you want. You got to spring people that Guatemala's not used to seeing going forward.
I mean, when have you seen Cherundolo down the middle with diving headers?
Now, they've got a lot to prove. They go into Mexico, they lose 2-1. You can see they're fired up, they're ready to go. The altitude training is going to help them. 2 weeks in altitude, coming back down to sea level is going to be big time for these guys.
Guillermo Ramirez leaving it off in the left to Ruiz, who may have to come back even deeper if he's not going to get a supply of the ball, and he hasn't so far in this game.
Well, two things they're doing right now, the U.S. So U.S., one, they're frustrating him because he's not able to get the ball where he wants to get the ball. Two, the U.S. is doing a good job of closing the pass down. So eventually you're going to see Ruiz going back into the midfield, picking the ball up, and that's great because now they've only got one striker.
USA attacking on the left. That's broken up but settled by Donovan. Landon will hold. Back to Mastroeni. He'll give it a rip. It's deflected, but it goes the other way and out. Corner kick. And among the targets on these corner kicks, Onyewu will come forward.
You got Onyewu, you got Brian Ching, you got Corey Gibbs. This is a big U.S. lineup going in for headers and corner kicks like this.
Ready for the corner. Way over the top it goes. Finally settled on the left side by Ralston. Onyewu. Still up from that corner kick, and now he must hustle back. That deflection helps the United States. We're coming here tonight from Birmingham, Alabama. This World Cup qualifier, USA playing at home after 2 opening games on the road, coming off their loss against Mexico. USA in white. Eddie Johnson with the lone goal thus far as the USA has the lead. 24th minute, throw in on the left side. Chen leaves it off. Chen getting it back. Going inside, left there, but cleared away by Onyewu.
Here's the other thing, too. Listening to Bruce and actually talking to Bruce, he says very clearly the one-on-one matchups all over the field are going to be very key. They need to win every matchup, and especially Onyewu and Corey Gibbs. They need to be the strongest. They need to win those battles all night long. They can't have any kind of letdown.
On that right side, played up to Eddie Johnson, now left there. In a corner, Ralston, 2 players going out. He and Gustavo Cabrera. Trigueño will put it back into play. On the far side, held up there by Guatemala. They'll take it to the middle. Cut off. Eddie Johnson. Mastroeni, left side. Lewis out of play. And another corner kick coming up. USA threatened on the last corner. See what they can do on this. 26th minute. Into the middle, headed over. A lot of bodies there going for it as the USA was looking for their second goal. Eddie Johnson with the lone goal thus far. DeMarcus Beasley Suspended, as we mentioned, due to yellow card accumulation. They miss him out there. He's been one of the most consistent players. All the way back, Keller is there. And back to Keller it goes, off his right foot. Clears it to the halfway line. Tackled away by Guatemala. Ramirez heading it forward. Ruiz. Flag is up on the far side. Eddie Johnson holding, now losing it there. Chen, left side, Ramirez. Laying it back. Melgar, intercepted. The U.S. turning it back. Foul in Guatemala on Freddie Thompson. Free kick, United States. And Landon Donovan will put it back into play. Donovan loops it over. Trigueño is there. Long outlet, stopped by Corey Gibbs. Pushed wide on the far side. Intended for Johnson, coming back for it is Ching. And that's going to be deflected. Not out yet. And finally it'll roll out over the end line for a goal kick. Ramon Maradiaga looking on. This would be an upset if Guatemala could get a win here, obviously, but he's the road team. He'd gladly accept the draw, but he needs a goal at least to get there. So we'll see. Right sideline. Tackled out. Corner kick.
And that's what Guatemala's going to try to do. They're going to try to get Rodriguez out there. You see Carlos Bocanegra, great tackle with the left foot, slides across, nice and easy, gets it out of bounds for a corner kick. But that's the guy, Rodriguez, local Rodriguez they call him, is the guy that they want to try to spring down the right side.
Corner kick coming up here. And it'll be taken by Romero. They go short. That one's deflected. Stays in play. Oh, there was a whistle there. Eddie Lewis tracking back for the United States. Goals in his last couple of World Cup qualifiers. USA leading 1-0 thanks to an Eddie Johnson goal. It came in the 11th minute.
In the 11th minute, great job by Landon Donovan. Look at the back heel, opens up that run, and that's what you're looking for. The diagonal run, the back heel, wide open. Eddie Johnson does a great job, just puts in the back of the net and puts the U.S. up 1-0 in the 11th minute.
This one goes on a play on the far side, and Guatemala will have a throw-in. On the far side, Nestor Martinez. Tackled away, and a whistle there. It's going the other way against Guatemala. Carlos Ruiz, the man down, he gets called for this.
That's what we're talking about. You can see both guys holding on to each other. You can't really say one or the other. The referee's right there. He does a great job. Look at Onyewu grabbing. Look at Ruiz grabbing. They're both grabbing. That's the kind of battle you're going to see all night, and that's what Onyewu needs to do. He needs to be physical with Ruiz. Ruiz does not like physical play.
Bruce Arena overall told us today he thought this kid has some great upside and made too many good plays to keep him out of the lineup. But of course, you want to come back with him after what happened on Sunday.
It's a confidence thing. He made two mistakes. He wasn't the only one making the mistake. He let Borghetti go. That was his man. That's his mistake. After that, he got kind of out of position. But still, this is a confidence thing. You take him out, maybe you lose him confidence-wise. You have to play him. You play him like this, and you keep giving him confidence. He's a young guy, and like Bruce said, he's got a great upside of him.
A lot of USA supporters tonight in Birmingham, but they seem to be outnumbered by blue and white jerseys supporting Guatemala, which is a surprise. Off that tackle, now the referee's got to come in and sort this out. with Ching down. He's saying, come on, let's go.
I'm telling you this, the referee's letting it get out of hand. You're letting a lot of little fouls go. You're letting him go. You're letting the game go. That's what's going to happen.
Come on, let's go is almost implying, too, that the player is not really faking it necessarily, but
you can see Melgar come in right there, comes in, see the right foot sweeps in and hits him. That's a foul. There's no doubt that's a foul. But this all started with the referee letting little things go. He's got to control the game from 1 second. If he lets this keep going, it could get out of hand.
This portion of the match brought to you by Home Depot. Onyewu wins it. Deflected out of play. A throw-in coming up from Guatemala. Dennis Chen. Cabrera. Ramirez. Played up on the right side. The Ralston pass was picked off. Long ball played, but the flag goes up on Carlos Ruiz. Coming up immediately following this match, we'll turn it over to tennis as ESPN2's coverage of the ATP Master Series NASDAQ 100 Open continues. Elena Dementieva faces Kim Clijsters in the women's quarterfinals coming up next here on ESPN2.
I tell you, that last play, that was good awareness by Corey Gibbs. Knowing he's the last man, sees Ruiz make the run. Before the ball's hit, he steps up by himself. He played Ruiz offside.
On the left side, this one is hooked up. Johnson brought it down. Donovan towards Ralston. Played across. The U.S. keeps possession. Inside off a deflection. Trigueño is there. Trigueño with the outlet to Ramirez, and that one's blocked. Ralston on the right. Into the middle. Donovan kept it going. Left side, Lewis. Left-footed drive is wide. Tough to tell if he's shooting there far post or seeing Eddie Johnson on that run.
That's just good build-up. Landon, good play. First touch outside. Eddie Lewis takes a crack. He's taking a shot on goal, but you know what? No, that's okay. That's a shot he needs to take. Look at the ball going across goal. If Eddie Johnson gets a run in there a little sooner, he's in there. Better to go across the goal like that where the keeper has to make a save, or you have another forward running through that space.
Carlos Ruiz leaves it off. Freddie Thompson tripped up there. Play continues. The U.S. looking for Johnson. Eddie Johnson holds up his run on the right inside the box. Ralston. Left-footed drive just wide of a diving Trigueño. A lot of offense here from the United States in the first half.
And we're going to keep talking about this all night. They want to explode on the outside. Look at Ralston, gets in, little touch in there, gets to his left foot, just puts it wide. But now you're starting to see Ralston come inside. Eddie Johnson making the run to the outside, starting to crisscross to see if they can screw up the defense a little bit, you know?
35th minute. The U.S. leading 1-0 at home in World Cup qualifying. Mario Rodriguez crossing it inside. Cleared away by Onyewu. Not out of danger yet. Guatemala puts the pressure on. Off a deflection. Picked back up by the United States. Donovan leads it. Lewis, great ball into space. Here's the return. Shot wide. What a setup there. That should have been 2-0 had Brian Ching converted.
That's a great counterattack. Landing up the middle, explodes, gets the ball out to Eddie Lewis. First time ball right into Ching, all by himself, and puts it wide. Wow, that's a counterattack to take advantage right there. They went at him right down the middle, landing. Great play to the outside.
That's a speed of play that you like to see with Donovan starting it, being more aggressive than he was on Sunday.
There's no doubt. Now you're starting to get Landon the ball. He doesn't have to do a lot of things. He's going to be a distraction, but when you can get him the ball in the open space, you see how fast he is, and the vision he has to find Eddie Lewis on the run, not breaking stride, is perfect.
USA losing it there. A nudge from Romero, but they're going to call a foul the other way. Foul in the United States. Free kick is coming up. Mastroeni wincing a bit. 36th minute. Over the ball, Guillermo Ramirez. And now, number 8 as well, Romero. He'll play it short. Back to Romero. Off a deflection. USA getting it back on the right. Ralston. Ching. Open man, but that's too far off the mark. What a great run that was, though, up the middle, and the recognition was there, but the pass off the mark intended for Donovan. Some creative runs, though, by the U.S. from different people here in this first half. A more balanced offense, certainly, by far, than you and I saw in Mexico.
No doubt, but you know what? This is a different environment, different atmosphere. No altitude, no smog. You're playing a night game. Well, like we said earlier, training 2 weeks in altitude. Going to Mexico, still in altitude. Coming back down, you're going to run a lot more. You're going to get a lot more air. Physically, you're going to be a lot fitter.
Eddie Lewis on the left. Deflected away. Rodriguez. Brought down, play continues. Nope, foul. Couldn't hear the whistle amidst the roar of the crowd.
You know what? Doesn't matter. You lost the ball. You see Landon Donovan chase him down 30 yards, knowing that he's going to goal. Plays a professional foul. Gets a shoulder in there, tries to get it, fouls him, slows down the play. Look at all the U.S. players. They're all back behind the ball. That's a good foul.
Captain Ramirez. Trying to make some eye contact there. Goes forward. He was looking for Pablo Melgar, but that was off the mark. Melgar, defender, was pushing up. Casey Keller will put it back into play as World Cup qualifying continues from Birmingham, Alabama. USA in white, Guatemala in blue. Just the 3rd game in World Cup qualifying so far for these two sides. Eddie Johnson with a lone goal as he continues his torrid scoring pace. Ruiz tackled away. Here's a chance if they can be brought down by Ruiz. Instead, the foul is going to be called. And Guatemala will have a free kick from a pretty good spot.
And this is what you want. You want to deny Ruiz the ball. Smart, look at him. He gets in there. He actually slips, but here it is. Onyewu has his hand on his chest. The referee's right there. He slips. He goes down. It looks like he pushes him. The referee calls a foul.
Casey Keller looking at this free kick. If it's spotted on the line, it would be 18 yards away. Might be a tad further as the wall is set up. See Donovan facing the goalkeeper, trying to communicate where that wall should be. Ruiz and Ramirez behind the ball. Ruiz the shot off the wall. So the wall does its job. Ruiz holding, lays it off left. Chen's cross, headed out for a corner. U.S. cleared it out. Bocanegra was there. 40th minute. 1-0 the lead for the United States. Gonzalo Romero. Keller got it. Bobbled it for a second and then was able to bring it down. Long toss from Keller. Martinez scrambles back, kept it in play. U.S. over, swinging it wide. Right side, Ching. Playing it inside. Kept in by Lewis, but Trigueño was there to make sure there was no rebound. Mastroeni intercepts. U.S. near the halfway line. Onyewu. Lewis is gaining all kinds of ground on the wing. The cross comes in. Ralston That was hit with velocity, but it's wide.
Great ball all the way across. Here comes Rustin all by himself. Just a little too much power. Instead of placement from that close, he tries to hit it, drive it down low, and puts it wide.
Guatemala will play it left. A lot of chances for the United States. They have finished off on one. Eddie Johnson's goal has given the U.S. the one-goal lead. Eddie Johnson, Trevino's coming out. He had to win that ball. Throw in U.S.
Okay, great play by Trevino. Coming off, knowing that he's outside, uses his feet to clear the ball.
Guatemala coming back. Freddie Thompson. Bumped by Donovan and Ralston. That ball is out. Ralston thought it was his. Referee's assistant says throw in Guatemala. Coming up at halftime, you get to ride the team bus, listen to Bruce Arena's meetings, sit in on the Charter to Mexico behind-the-scenes view of life with the national team. Plus, we'll have highlights all coming up from Birmingham and a chat with Glenn Mooch-Marinick, one of the USA's assistant coaches. That's coming up at the half. Halftime is close by as well. Well, that's what you were talking about before. You're not calling the fouls. They will get a little bit nastier.
As the game goes on, if the referee doesn't hear it, as you can see, he takes this one. Not too bad of a foul on that one. The referee does a good job, calls a foul.
On the left, Bocanegra. That's tackled away. Apparently that entire ball was out on the wing. It looked close from here, but we're across the field. The USA's throw it. Johnson was looking for it, headed up by Thompson. Johnson laid it off. Mastroeni played it across to Ralston. Topov right side. Cherundolo is up. Another cross. Johnson in the air. Eddie Johnson. But again, they talked about playing the flank as one of the keys, and we're seeing those crosses make a difference.
You can see Cherundolo getting outside. Here comes Eddie. See, you can see right there, Eddie Johnson gets up, puts his hands in front of him, keeps the guy down from jumping, and that's a foul right there. But you're right, they keep, and that was the key, trying to get the flanks, get them going up and down. Even when you're crossing from one side, they want the other side coming in for that far post ball.
On the right, Ralston holding, trying to sneak by. That's picked off by Guatemala. Romero, intended for Ramirez, that goes out of play. Bruce Arena's side has had so much of the ball possession here in the first half. With any luck, should be up by at least a couple of goals here. That one's knocked out. USA's throwing. Cherundolo. Final minute. Knocked away by Cabrera. Corner, U.S. here in the closing minute. Ralston has it down. Onyewu was pushed up. On a drive, headed wide. Again, it was there. With Onyewu flashing forward. He's a presence on those corners.
They've got so many targets from Ching to Corey Gibbs. Onyewu, you've got three great targets. You just got to make sure you put the ball in there and let these guys attack the ball.
1 minute of stoppage time put on here. And stoppage time is where we are at the moment. A little bit better than 15 seconds in. Cherundolo. Ching on the run. Trying to get it through. He follows it up. And it will go out on the near sideline. Ching will have a throw in deep. Cherundolo He and Ramirez get the legs tangled up. Referee's assistant pointing in the other direction. Guatemala's ball with time running out of the first half. Trigueño's going to come over. Trigueño with a clearance. Going long. He was looking for Pesarossi, who's hardly touched the ball in this first half. He's up top with Ruiz. Chen. Over a minute gone now in stoppage time. Johnson, that hit him in the back. Guatemala will get it back. Thompson. Picked off and cleared the other way by the U.S. Guatemala back on it. Melgar in the middle. Well, the referee's finding even more time to put on here. Onyewu getting it forward to Mastroeni. Down the flank. Lewis couldn't reach that. Trigueño was going to come out, change his mind. Trigueño will clear it. This should do it. Almost 2 minutes of stoppage time was added on. After 45 minutes, there's the lone goal scored. Eddie Johnson, 8 goals now in 8 international appearances as the United States has the lead over Guatemala, 1-0 at the end of the first half of play. From the altitude of Colorado Springs all the way down to Mexico City. How about some all access when we come back to Birmingham?
MLS, America's Soccer. Tune in for all the action every Radio Shack Soccer Saturday on ESPN2. Don't miss the moment.
ESPN2's presentation of U.S. Soccer is brought to you by Philips. Technology should be as simple as the box it comes in. And by Budweiser, the bright color and crisp, clean taste you'll only find in the king of beers. Well, if you're hungry, you've come to the right place. Birmingham, Alabama, where at halftime the United States leads Guatemala by the score of 1-0. We promised you all access with the USA men's national team. But before we get there, let's hear from a special hostess from Birmingham.
Thanks, JP. Hi, y'all. My name is Kat Reddick from the U.S. women's national team, and I'm welcoming you to my hometown of Birmingham, Alabama. And I just got back from Portugal, where we beat Germany 1-0 to win the Algarve Cup. Most importantly, and I love this as a defender, we shut out all 4 opponents in the tournament for the first time ever. This is the house I grew up in, and this is my very room, and this is my new trophy room, which is my mom's idea. And this is the gold medal from Athens, which is still in my possession. But my favorite part about this trophy room has to be my first ever soccer cleats. Now that you've seen the behind the scenes of my world, let's join the U.S. men's national team on their recent trip to Mexico.
I left my house at 9 in the morning, European time, so I couldn't even tell you. I mean, you'd have to do the math. It's been a long day, so.
We're trying to simulate Mexico City as much as possible.
All right, there's no sense in standing around, so let's get right to work.
Watch it, Mark.
Chad, is that a breathe right?
Yeah.
What's up with that?
So I can breathe right.
All right, let's go, guys. Let's go.
How long is the flight?
3 hours and 20 minutes.
And I don't know, it's kind of cool feeling.
We've done a lot as a team over the years, so this is our time to take a little credit for who we are. Big on 3 USA. 1, 2, 3. USA!
Disappointed about the loss right now, but we have to put it behind us. We have a few more games of qualifying, so if we get 3 points against Guatemala on Wednesday, I think that we're moving in the right direction.
The first kick of season 10 of Major League Soccer gets underway this Saturday live at 3 p.m. Eastern on ABC Sports. 20 ado, defending champs DC United taking on Chivas. Eric Winalda, Brandy Chastain will be along with the debut of Skycam. That's all coming up at the Home Depot Center. We look forward to bringing that game to you on ABC Sports. 1-0, the United States leads Guatemala on an Eddie Johnson goal after 45 minutes of play, along with Marcelo Balboa and JP Della Camera. A lot more offense this first half from the U.S. than you and I saw on Sunday.
No doubt. They came out with put on a lot more pressure. Start from the whistle. They went out. They put a lot of pressure on these guys. And in the 11th minute, you can already see Landon Donovan, great heel. Eddie Johnson all by himself, but what a great look from the dartfish stroke motion. But you can see good back heel, opens up the midfield, opens up the defense. Eddie Johnson, the 11th minute, puts the U.S. up 1-0. And that's what they talked about, getting the ball wide, getting in the middle. Ching all by himself, missed it. Another great cross by Eddie Lewis. Ralston over the top. These are opportunities they can't pass up. Here comes Casey Keller, comes out, holds that, and you can see from the Phillips goal cam, Casey Keller bobbled it a little bit, but that's what they need to do. They need to keep control of the game, but they need to finish their chances.
Glenn Mooch-Myernick with us on headset. Mooch, thanks for joining us. Your impressions of that first half of play, first 45.
We're very pleased with the overall quality of the play, the speed of play. We feel that we're playing the game at a pace that they're not comfortable with. We certainly would have liked to have put the dagger in them with the second goal and maybe the third. But if we have to do that in the second half, we're prepared to do that.
What kind of changes do we expect in the second half?
None, because we've played very, very well. We would like to come out, put our foot on the gas again. We just feel that in transition, they can't play with us. We're winning the ball and getting at them before they can get themselves organized. We'd like for Landon to be a little bit more direct. He's passed the ball well, but we'd like him to run the ball at the goal a little bit more himself. And we feel confident we're going to get the second goal.
Mooch, thanks for your time. We appreciate it.
All right, all the best.
Glenn Mooch-Myernick, assistant coach of the USA national team. A 1-0 lead over Guatemala. Come back with us for the second half from Birmingham.
Alabama, get away, get away. Alabama, get away, get away. Just down
Welcome back to Birmingham, Alabama. World Cup qualifying continues. The start of the second half with the USA leading Guatemala 1-0. Guatemala made a couple of changes. We'll get to them in a moment. Guatemala's in blue, USA in white. Going along is Guatemala. They made 2 changes at halftime. And we'll see what that does. Davila in, Chen is out. Quinones in, Romero out. We told you earlier that Chen left the game against Trinidad and Tobago on Saturday, so it may be an injury as opposed to tactical. We wouldn't know at this point from here. So they are allowed one more change. USA standing pat, as assistant coach Glenn Myernick said, and basically why change it the way it's been going. Cello, they outshot Guatemala 14-3 in the first half.
Well, they definitely dominated, and that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to step up, but high pressure, and they didn't let down.
Appeals for a handball there are not heard. That is Pesarossi, who scored twice against Trinidad and Tobago on Saturday, but he's hardly had a touch today. One of the things that Glenn Myernick talked about, he wanted Landon Donovan to play more direct. How can you define what he means?
Correct is getting the ball and running at their back four, the back line, running at the defenders like he did in the first few opportunities he got. He ran it, he sprayed the ball wide, go forward, you've got enough space, run at the defense.
Mastroeni, long ball left, intended for Eddie Lewis, and that goes wide. Throw in coming up for Nestor Martinez. Up the wing it goes, and that's cleared out by Corey Gibbs, who, by the way, is starting today. He was going to get that start anyway. It had nothing to do with Greg Berhalter's play on the weekend. We were told by Bruce Arena this morning that Corey Gibbs was going to start tonight no matter what happened on Sunday.
You have to keep, this is an opportunity to get these guys, not experiment, I don't like the word experiment. This is an opportunity to try different partnerships, especially in the middle, find your best partner, find the best chemistry in the middle and how they work together.
We would like to thank Phillips and all of our U.S. soccer sponsors for allowing us to bring you this game without interruption. United States looking for it, halfway line. Donovan got clipped as he cleared it. Ralston is after it. Davila's over there on the wing. Knocked away by Cabrera. Mexico playing in Panama, leading 1-0 on a Morales goal. He came on as a sub on Sunday. He has scored in the 26th minute today. Mexico leading the group, undefeated in World Cup qualifying. An injury on the field, Mastroeni on the far side. And Pablo is in some pain as the training staff comes out. And there's concern when anyone goes down, but this is a guy that's doing so much work in the defensive midfield for this team, a guy that, to me, seems to get better and better.
He's really, you would have to say, the rock in the middle of that midfield. He wins balls, and you can see here comes Ramirez from behind. There comes a tackle, lands on his foot. FIFA rules, everybody knows, anytime you tackle from behind, that's an automatic foul. It's dangerous, the guy can't see you. That is an automatic foul. The referee, and there we go back to the referee letting things go that he shouldn't let go.
So Mastroeni limps off. Drew Snell, part of the training staff for the U.S. national team, escorts him off. So for now, the USA will play with 10 men and make a determination on Pablo getting back in as the subs warm up. Josh Wolf there, Chris Albright, among 7 available subs for the United States. Corey Gibbs plays it back to Casey Keller.
Well, here's key too. You can't play with a guy down for a long period of time. They've got to realize or find out how hurt Pablo is, hurt or injured, make a decision, and if that's the case, if he can't come back in, you got to make a sub within 2 or 3 minutes.
And from the far side of the field, they'll be making that communication visually with the USA bench to let them know. Freddie Thompson over the ball. And now he'll give way to a teammate as others push forward. That's Martinez. USA leading on an Eddie Johnson goal. Another foul. That one on Eddie Lewis.
It's simple too. When you have a guy out, we'll explain. Very simple. You play with 2 forwards. You drop one of your forwards into the midfield. You still play a 4-4-1. You have a target player, but you drop a guy into the midfield to cover that space.
Ramirez headed once. Looked like that was going to be a pass. Instead, it goes out of play. The U.S. will put it back into play. That's Minor Davila, age 23. Bruce Arena looking over to the side, trying to see what's up. Whether or not he'll have to replace Mastroeni. They were taping him up as if he was going to come back in. And Pablo right now is running on the side. Going back the other way. U.S. on the attack with Ralston. And the bodies are just flying now. Lead pass, the offside flag just went up on Guatemala. on Ruiz again.
It's Ruiz, but I tell you what, give credit to Corey Gibbs. He knows he's the last guy. That's twice now by himself. He stepped up and has gotten Ruiz offside.
Mastroeni is back out on the field for the United States. We'll see how he goes. Looked like it was his left foot that was being taped or retaped on the side. Eddie Johnson into the middle. Donovan. Ralston holding. Eddie Johnson with the ball. He has the game's only goal. Donovan again. Landon Donovan pushing it left. Bocanegra. Too far for Johnson. Guatemala looking for it. Looking upfield. They give it away quickly. Bocanegra, quick counter. Left sideline, Eddie Lewis. Nice cut inside. And then Lewis is brought down, resulting in a foul and a free kick for the United States.
Can't do anything about that. Look at the way he sells the fake. Swings it, look at that, cuts it back in right. Look at he sells it, boom! Cuts it back, catches Martinez off. Martinez got to get his hand up and foul him.
And Landon Donovan will take this. 18 fouls in this game. Donovan strikes it far post, just over Eddie Johnson with Trigueño coming out. That was an opportunity for the second goal. Pablo Mastroeni just coming back into the game, talks about a veteran status on this team. He takes nothing for granted.
From now to the time I'm done playing with the team, I'll never be a veteran on this team, and I think that's my mindset with the MLS as well. Is you start losing that bite that you had, you know, and so I have to come into camp and prove to Bruce every time that I'm capable of taking on these challenges, and it's a challenge for myself to get better. You know, I'm years and years away from being the kind of player that I'd like to be.
Cello, where has he gotten better internationally?
I think Pablo's starting to play a lot simpler. He's getting the ball, he's knocking it, getting it off his feet, and playing north and south, trying to hit the forwards, but simple. Get it, pass, hold your position, let the other guys do what they need to do, and he does a great job of holding the ball up in the midfield and winning balls back for the U.S.
The U.S. on the right, Cherundolo. Another cross, but Trigueño is there. Long toss the other way. Stopped at the halfway line. U.S. getting it back. Bocanegra too far for Johnson. Ching makes the run, but Trigueño is right there. Guatemala deep in their own end. Another giveaway, but Ramirez picks it up. Gets by Mastroeni. He comes back into the play defensively. Martinez. Rodriguez. Blocked by Bocanegra. And Bocanegra gets called for the foul. Quick restart. A lot of holding there between Gibbs and Ruiz. Play continues on. Martinez picks it off. Ruiz. That's blocked by Gibbs coming back. Floated up by Martinez, not high enough. And Lewis in a collision with Thompson as the ball goes out. It's getting rougher down below.
It's getting rough, but I tell you what, great job by Corey Gibbs coming from the far side, coming across and blocking that shot. Look at the play right there. They both go for the ball. Here comes the elbow, maybe just a little too much. He leans in. I'm still not seeing the foul. You're allowed to go shoulder to shoulder like that. Let him keep playing.
More contact. This goes against the United States. Well, before the referee from Trinidad wasn't calling anything. Now he's calling a lot.
He has to. He has to slow it down. The later the game goes on, the more frustrated Guatemala's going to take, the more little fouls are going to take as they run into you. They're going to hit you. They're going to come in late and throw an elbow. The referee has to control the game from the first minute all the way to the 90th.
Now the referee's coming over for a chat. That's Pesarosi, who is going to be spoken to. Actually, both players on that side. Pesarosi and Onyewu. They want Onyewu to be physical, and why not? He's 6'2", 180. Long throw it. Ruiz wanted to come around and turn, but he couldn't do it. Bocanegra was with him. Davila to the left. A trip there. Free kick Guatemala. With Cabrera down, Cherundolo committed the foul. So Guatemala will push forward here on this free kick by Ramirez. Going in low, and it's headed up. Pesarossi's only chance of this game, but it was deflected, so it's another corner. Casey Keller wearing that captain's armband today with Claudio Reyna on the sidelines. The corner to the middle. Headed away. That was Corey Gibbs in the air. Ramirez, blocked by Lewis. Donovan spun around, and play will continue, but it's going to be whistled back on the foul.
They can't keep up with the speed. You see Landon coming in there. Cabrera does a good job, throws his shoulder, trying to slow down, and that's what Guatemala's going to do. Guatemala's going to try to slow down the rhythm of the U.S. team.
Ching lays it off. Mastroeni. Eddie Lewis. The cross there. Johnson couldn't get to it. And now it'll go wide of Trigueño, who tried to save that from becoming a corner kick, but he could not. Eddie Lewis will take the corner. Here's your lone goal scorer, Eddie Johnson. 59th minute. Lewis curls it out. Trigueño, one hand, he swatted it away. And that's cleared away, intended for Ruiz, who was the closest player to it. Quick USA throw in. Eddie Johnson finds it at his feet. Played off to the right. A cut there by Mastroeni. Donovan. Shrugging off one challenge. Goes back right, then left. Onyewu. US getting it back on the wing. Into the middle. Ching. Johnson. Saved by Trigueño. Couple of nice touches there.
It's a good ball in. You can see Ching already seeing where Eddie Johnson's going to go. He tries to lay the ball in there just a little too far, but that's what the U.S. needs. The U.S. needs to get that combination of Brian Ching and Eddie Johnson going.
Mastroeni settles. Donovan. Cherundolo on the right. Eddie Johnson wide. That'll be tackled out for a corner. USA continuing to knock on the door of opportunity, looking for a second goal to try to put Guatemala out of this. Ralston is ready, the 7th USA corner. This is deflected out, Ruiz. And it's deflected back, and the U.S. will collect it. Cherundolo over the top. Eddie Lewis. Johnson trying to find Lewis back in the return. It's going to be blocked out for a goal kick.
You see the last pick comes Eddie Johnson. He just misses that. Trigueño does a good job, comes out to close him down. If he doesn't close him down, Eddie Johnson gets it.
Mom Luana, among those watching in the stands, has to be proud of her son. Becoming a big story in U.S. soccer. We mentioned the other day in the Mexico telecast, Benfica of Portugal offered $5 million to MLS for him, and it was turned down. From the projects in Florida to right now, a regular on the U.S. national team. An incredible ride. And again, he turns 21 tomorrow. Eddie Johnson chasing it down. Into the middle, Donovan. Waits for the help. Cherundolo makes the run. Inside. Johnson up, knotted it down. Lewis shot. He nearly had 3 goals in his last 3 internationals. Had that one been closer to the target.
They're knocking around. The U.S. is just fishing around. They're getting it. Here comes Eddie Lewis. Tries to get it on the short up. You can see he doesn't hit it with the instep. He puts his side foot and tries to place it into the corner and just puts it up a little high.
First kick, season 10 of Major League Soccer gets underway this Saturday live at 3 p.m. Eastern on ABC Sports. Defending champs DC United versus Chivas. Eric Winalda, Brandy Chastain will be on hand along with me. And it's the MLS debut of Skycam. We look forward to it on Saturday from the Home Depot Center. Ramirez tripped up, late whistle. When I saw it live, I thought it was a foul, but it was a late whistle regardless.
See him going for the ball. Pablo slides in, and I tell you what, there's no foul there. He takes a dive. Pablo gets the ball. Smart play by Ramirez. He lets himself fall, but there was no foul there.
On second look, I agree with you, but it's still a late whistle.
And the late whistle comes from this. He's waiting to see if the referee's waiting to see if he keeps possession of the ball or somebody has the ball to take advantage of the situation. If he falls and somebody has an advantage of that, he'll take it. But if not, he waited. He called the foul when he saw they lost the ball.
Ruiz puts it down. Either he or Ramirez will take this from 22 yards away from goal. Ruiz, that's deflected again. The wall does its job. Headed down by Cabrera, and he missed. On the wing, Bocanegra clears. From the halfway line, long ball in. On a bounce, it's Keller. Casey Keller will clear. Johnson and a defender holding each other off as the ball goes back to Trigueño. This portion of the match presented by Gatorade. USA getting it back with that pass up, and then the foul there is Donovan. Was fouled by Ramirez, and those guys may be teammates by Saturday. Ramirez already signed with the Galaxy. Press conference tomorrow that everyone expects will be an announcement that Landon Donovan is rejoining Major League Soccer and the Galaxy. Check in with ESPN News tomorrow for full coverage. Bocanegra. Trigueño comes out. Good hands there with 2 USA players in his area. Cherundolo to the right on that pass. Guatemala have made 2 changes in their lineup. USA still going with the starting 11. Pleased with the results so far, up 1-0. Pressing for another. Eddie Lewis. Right to the middle, headed down, and a goal! But the flag is up on the far side as the USA celebrates. That was Donovan. Flag up on the far side. No goal.
Eddie Lewis has the ball right here. You can see right when the ball is hit. Wow, that's onside. Ball, once it leaves his foot, well, you can see once it leaves his foot, he is onside. He's even that is onside. Advantage should go to the forward.
If it's close like that, the flag should not go up.
That's ruled by FIFA. Even says give the advantage to the offensive player. That right there is an advantage to the offensive player.
Trigueño goes back for it. Landon Donovan knows that was a good goal. Deflected out by Eddie Lewis. 66th minute. Oh, he knows. He knows he was even. Ruiz to Ramirez. Oh, Rodriguez, that save. Rebound is cleared away. Well as the U.S. has played defensively, you know that there's going to be a good shot or 2 in this game, and the goalkeeper must come up.
In a 90-minute game, there's always going to be one breakdown, and you got to hope your goalkeeper's there to make the save, and Keller made a great save there.
Keller right there again, so steady in goal as Casey Keller. Most wins in U.S. national team history, and most shutouts as well. 3rd among goalkeeper caps for the U.S. Headed up by Johnson. Mastroeni. Eddie Lewis. Lewis hangs up the cross. Brought down. Donovan flicks. Johnson saved Trigueño. That was a beauty. Play continuing. Bicycle kick. Another save. That was world class from Trigueño. Spectacular from Birmingham.
I'll tell you what, that sequence right there was awesome. They're in, the U.S. is in there pushing, they're taking shot. Trigueño's making great shots. A bicycle kick, he saves that. That's some good soccer right there. There's a handball right there. Clear handball, away from the body, it hits him and the referee doesn't call it.
Eddie Johnson will play it across. Comes back to the halfway line. I didn't see that live. That ball was moving around quick. And quick again. Johnson let it go. Quick chip there and a score. This one should count from Ralston. His third international goal. They won't take that one away.
You can't take that. Here we go again. Great ball by the outside. Eddie Johnson flicks it on. Ralston right there by himself. There we talk about a little bit of luck. Bad defensive play by Guatemala, but give Ralston credit. Look at this, just a little touch. Sees the keeper coming out, puts it in there. You know, it's just a matter of time. Guatemala couldn't sit back there and defend for 90 minutes and get out of here with a 1-0 loss. U.S. kept pushing. Even Mooch said it. The second goal was coming. We have to keep pushing, and they got it.
Mooch was Glenn Myernick, assistant coach for the U.S. national team. Said they didn't want to change anything for the second half, really. They liked the way the team was playing. Big edge in the shots, and actually could have had a bigger lead than they had at halftime, but it was only 1-0. So Steve Ralston, the MVP last year with the New England Revolution, gets his third international goal. And the sub is coming up. Ralston, in his 10th season with Major League Soccer, leads all players in minutes played. So 19, Rodriguez is out. 23 to be Hernan Sandoval. So that's it, 3 subs. He is a tall striker. He'll give them some size. But right now, they're 2 goals down. Donovan settling. Poked away. Ramirez. At the halfway line. Ruiz on the turn. Good idea to Pesarossi. But it was covered. Onyewu had his man, and Keller was there too.
I'll tell you, this is the rule I don't like. The guy's offside, no problem. Casey Keller picks the ball up, distributes it really fast. Why stop the play? If the guy gets the ball, he's in offside position, call it. Yeah. Let the flow keep going. There's no need.
Nearly 70 minutes gone. USA so dominant at home against CONCACAF. They've not lost to a CONCACAF team since 2001. They had other streaks snapped the other day against Mexico, including 16 unbeaten. Donovan. Tackle away. They had 3 players there defending Landon Donovan's run. And there's Donovan playing direct like you were talking about before.
I'll tell you what, Mooch said it very clearly, the assistant coach. Landon needs to go forward. It needs to be more direct. I tell you what, this is a Landon Donovan, much better Landon Donovan we saw in Mexico. Couldn't get involved in the game. Really just didn't see much of the ball. Today, he's seeing the ball. He's moving to the right position. This is a Landon you like to see play day in and day out.
Right side of the field, USA up by 2. Eddie Johnson flicks it forward. That's broken up. Guatemala coming back. Ching was the player taken down. Ramirez on the side, blocked by Cherundolo. And that's going to roll towards the sideline and out. Steve Ralston with that insurance goal for the United States to give them some breathing room, but It was a goal you'd have to say they deserved. They've been controlling the run of play all game.
And we said it earlier, the key for the U.S. is the flank play. You've got two guys on the outside that can go at people. Very good at one-on-one. Great crosses of the ball, and they've done a great job tonight.
Let's revisit the Bruce Arena checklist. The flank play was one of those keys.
Establishing attack on the flanks. A check and a half on that one. Denying Ruiz the ball, another check and a half. Controlling the tempo, you got to give them all A and A pluses right now. They've controlled every minute of this game so far.
Esarossi heads it forward, some holding there in the box. Actually, I thought they were going to even call that the other way, but there's not even a call either way as play continues. Donovan. Ramirez sends it across. Oh, the legs get tangled up there. Ruiz is looking for a call. And he's going to get it for diving. He's going to get a call for diving. Ruiz trying to draw the penalty. And he was one of those guys in yellow card jeopardy coming in. What a loss that is.
Look at the battle. He's sitting there. He's fighting away. He's fighting away. No foul. He gets his feet caught up. And the referees know. They know Ruiz and CONCACAF. They know Ruiz and MLS. He has a habit of letting himself fall. The referee does a good job right there. Not going to stand for that and gives him the yellow card.
Back the other way. Guatemala looking to clear.
And this is a huge blow for Guatemala.
Oh, yeah.
Next game, he's out. Leading goal scorer on this team.
And they only have to play Mexico next. Ball is played across and cleared out. Guatemala up for Ramirez. A stumble there. Gibbs comes back in a hurry. Corey Gibbs with some good speed. Got it out of danger. Good play. It's deflected out. Ramirez quickly. Down goes Ruiz again. He's getting frustrated. Coming back, Donovan on the run. Pushed down. Play continues. No, there's a whistle. Or no, I heard a whistle. It must have come from the crowd. But again, it was Donovan going forward, playing direct, causing problems for the back line of Guatemala.
This is what Bruce Arena wanted. Going at the defense. 1, 2, 3. Gets clipped from behind. The referee's not going to call it. Wasn't that big of a foul. Just a little nudge. But that's what you want. You want Landon running at the four defenders with his pace, with his ball skill. All day he should be doing that. And I'll tell you, I even forgot to say this. You do that 3 or 4 times. You suck in 3 defenders. That opens up a diagonal run in for Eddie Johnson. Or even Ralston coming on the outside, or he can spring him in.
Landon Donovan playing like a veteran today. Actually, he's sort of a young veteran because he's played in now 61. This is his 61st international match with the U.S. national team. Lewis towards Bocanegra.
You know, Landon, I won't speak on behalf of Landon. I'll speak on behalf of myself. I know when off the field, when you're getting traded and rumors are flying around, that always seems to affect you on the field. You can see that the situation off the field has been set. His game is on today. He's thinking about playing today.
Guatemala breaks it up. Clears. Bocanegra stopping that. Esarossi. Guatemala trying to push forward. Here they come. Thompson, down he goes. They're going to bring it back. Mexico playing in their game. Still have just that 1-0 lead on a Morales goal. So Panama is hanging in there tough. World Cup qualifying, by the way, will get a break. Next games are not until June. USA will take on Costa Rica in Salt Lake City, June 4th. Coming back on the right, Ralston. Keeps possession for the United States. Cherundolo. And that one will go out of play. U.S. have had some subs up, but nobody looks ready to come in just yet. Eddie Lewis with it. Eddie Johnson running into space. He'll get it. Johnson holds, looks. Donovan blocked. Johnson got it back. Left it for Donovan. He holds, plays it across. Off the foot of Eddie Lewis. Some good teamwork sharing the ball. Gibbs. Knocked out by Guatemala. And a clearly frustrated Carlos Ruiz. Not his day today.
Now you can see it on his face. He hasn't been involved. He's had maybe 3 or 4 balls in the game. You see him yelling at his teammates, throwing his hands in the air, yelling at the referee. The U.S. defense has done a very good job. When you can get Carlos Ruiz to start doing that, you're taking him off his game.
Eddie Johnson holding it there. USA leads 2-0. Johnson and Ralston are the goal scorers. Into the middle for Ching. Some contact there. As Guatemala clears. Flicked up by Sandoval. And it'll roll out of play. 78th minute. Guatemala have a player down outside of the box. I thought it was Cabrera. And it is.
Ching goes up. Great job. Look at that. Holds it right off his chest. You can see Cabrera coming in. Can't really see what happened. He's holding his mouth. Can't really see it, but I tell you what a great shot of Ching going up and holding that off with his chest.
A 2-0 lead right now for the United States over Guatemala. 1 goal in each half.
And you can see here, look at the ball when it was hit. The line they drew right there was perfect. Landon Donovan timed that perfectly. Eddie Johnson right there. There's a handball, clear handball the referee missed. And here's a bicycle kick. That's a good shot. Here's it is. You can see the pass off the Ralston in the 68th minute. Great touch, brings it down. I tell you what, good finish in the 68th minute to put him up 2-0.
I mean, yes, it's only a 2-0 lead, but this is as much offense as you and I have seen from the U.S. team in quite some time.
You know, after the Mexico game, you leave that with a bad taste in your mouth. They didn't do a great job. The U.S. played probably 60 minutes of decent soccer. Not great, but decent soccer. Only created a few chances. Tonight you can see they had a lot to prove. They came out from the first minute, pressured Guatemala, put them on their heels, and let's be honest, it should be 4-0 right now.
Josh Wolf coming into the game, replacing Brian Ching, and Josh Wolf didn't get to play at all against Mexico. He's from the South, went to University of South Carolina from Stone Mountain, Georgia. So Wolf now gets a chance to try to impress here in the 80th minute. Wolf was a member of that 2002 team. Cabrera with a little tape there under the nose to stop the bleeding. And he'll be continuing on. A 2-0 USA lead. That's the first substitution that the U.S. has made today. Bocanegra, long throw. Johnson. Wolf played it over, now Johnson. Eddie Johnson holding. Back for Bocanegra. Lifting into the middle. Brought down. Wolf out. Lewis across. Eddie Johnson was looking for that. Clearance by Guatemala to Sandoval. Hernan Sandoval leaves it off for Ramirez. 81st minute. USA leading 2-0. Showing a lot of offensive capability here today in Birmingham. Ardieu knocked it away. Mastroeni clears left. Bocanegra wanted Lewis. Cabrera stopped that, and he and Bocanegra collide. Foul was called on the restart. Gibbs sticks in, and now the referee's coming over. Ruiz has to be careful. And he's already out for the next game. He's got to keep his emotions in check. I know he's an emotional player, but here's Ramirez. Long shot. Keller was diving. Well, from up here, that looked very close.
Wow, what a great strike. right from behind. Look at that ball just sailing, just going. Wow, just wide. What a strike.
Guillermo Ramirez, 27 years of age. One of the veterans on this Guatemalan squad. He scored a goal on Saturday. Guatemala up for Ramirez. That's blocked. Mastroeni. Bocanegra. Into the middle. Donovan spreads it wide. Ralston with one goal. Eddie Johnson with the other. 82nd minute. USA up by 2. Freddie Thompson coming back. Sandoval for Ruiz, chesting it down. The double team is there. Mastroeni came back and barely got that back to Keller. Some good team defense there by Mastroeni coming back because it's tough to mark Ruiz 1v1.
And you don't want to get caught in a one-on-one situation, but if you do, Corey Gibbs did a good job. Held him up, gave himself enough time to get some of his teammates back to help.
Donovan. Johnson. And he was blocked by Guatemala.
I'm telling you right now, if I'm an FC Dallas fan with Eddie Johnson and Carlos Ruiz, I'm buying season tickets right now.
And they'll have the new stadium later in the summer out in Frisco, Texas, where the MLS Cup final will be in November. Mastroeni to the right. Nearly 83 minutes gone. USA up by 2. Lewis holding. Stays with it. Strong game from Eddie Lewis. Here's Donovan. Ralston low for Johnson. If he could have got a touch on that ball, it's 3-0. Ralston and Lewis, 2 key guys in the wings today for the United States.
You can honestly say every single guy right now has a very strong showing today. But the 2 guys on the outside have been the most dangerous players, getting down the wing, getting some crosses, and when Landon gets the ball, watch out. That's what the U.S. is all about, getting at the other team.
USA playing with a lot of confidence offensively today. We had a shot of Pat Noonan getting ready to come on for Steve Ralston. They are teammates with the New England Revolution. Or it's Eddie Lewis, I'm sorry. Lewis out. Pat Noonan in. Good game for Eddie Lewis. Almost scored in his 3rd straight game in terms of qualifying. Inside the box, quick turn, and Keller has got that.
I agree, JP, with you. Eddie Lewis had a very good, great crosses, good work down the side, offensively and defensively. And over the last 2 games, I tell you what, you can see him getting stronger and stronger and solidifying that position on the outside.
Thompson lays it off. Guatemala, 85th minute. Down 2-0 on the road. USA dominating tonight in the stats and on the scoreboard. Martinez. Ruiz lays it off. Quick shot. And that goes wide from Minor Davila.
There's a strike earlier. Great look with the dart fish throw motion. Look at that ball with Ramirez just putting it wide. Can I say I like that? I like watching the little dots like that's awesome.
That was one of the closer ones today for Guatemala, who have not had all that many good scoring chances today against the United States. That one's cleared out. USA will have it. This portion of the match brought to you by the Home Depot. That's Pat Noonan, a good goal scorer with New England, 11 goals last year. Getting ready to start his 3rd MLS season. Johnson. That was called. The flag was up on the far side. 87th minute. Over 31,000 in attendance tonight. Good atmosphere tonight. A lot more Guatemalan fans were here than I think anyone expected. You can hear the USA supporters, but there is a lot of blue and white in the crowd.
I'm going to guess people take their time because we went out the other night and ate the ribs, so the people are outside eating the ribs, and they come in about 2 or 3 minutes before the game starts.
I asked some of the Guatemalan media where a lot of these fans were coming from, and they said really from all over. Not just some of the nearby areas like Washington, D.C. and Atlanta, but all over.
That's awesome.
Cleared out, throw in USA. Josh Wolf. No sense rushing here. A 2-0 lead. Time running out. Johnson switches. Brought down by Ralston. Cherundolo. Up the wing. Davila slows him down. Has some help there. Minor Davila leaves it off. To the halfway line. That's blocked. Guatemala. Long ball. Flag up. Offside. Guatemala again. Several times today. That time Sandoval. The first time that it wasn't Ruiz offside. USA with a free kick. Their side of the halfway line. Guatemala clearing. Eddie Johnson, Steve Ralston, the goal scorers if you're just joining us. A strong offensive performance today by the United States. That one's deflected. In towards Ruiz. Gibbs again making a strong play. Bocanegra. That's knocked down. As was Wolf. Yellow card finally in this game. Quinones. 89th minute. Free kick for the United States. Ramon Maradiaga looking on. Was hoping to at least get a point in this game with a tie. Inside the box, Wolf, Johnson. Back to Mastroeni. Held up there on the far side by Ralston. Knocking it back for possession. Keeping the ball. Play back. Donovan from Noonan. Right side run, Cherundolo. Tried to go inside, lost his balance. Regained it, then he got tripped. Outside the box. Free kick, United States.
Great run by Cherundolo. Gets it inside. Look at that. 1-2. Gets it by him. Cabrera has to take him down.
Cherundolo, and I think everybody in that back four tonight has played well for the United States. A lot of cohesion back there, working the offside trap well also. And Landon Donovan is going to come off to a nice ovation as Clint Dempsey comes on. A bounce-back game for Landon Donovan, who is expected to officially rejoin Major League Soccer tomorrow at a press conference in Los Angeles to play for the Galaxy. Details, check out ESPN News tomorrow. 3 minutes of stoppage time put on. That's Steve Ralston. He had the game's second goal. Puts it up there, Trigueño. And that one is deflected wide by the corner flag. USA now have made their 3 subs, as has Guatemala. Noonan to the middle for Clint Dempsey. So you've got Dempsey, Ralston, and Noonan all out there from the Revolution. And the referee is chasing Dempsey down. And he gives him the yellow card. Well, that's a quick yellow for Dempsey. He only came in moments ago.
I've seen worse fouls all day, and you give them a yellow card for that.
Free kick, Guatemala. Into stoppage time now. USA headed for 3 points in the standings. US on the attack again. Inside the box, quick shot, saved Trigueño, and he's got it on the rebound. Another good USA opportunity. And another foul upfield.
Great run from Dempsey. You can see it here from the Phillips goal cam. Comes in, Trigueño, great save, gets both hands up. What a good look from behind the goal.
2 minutes gone, stoppage time. 1 more to go, unless more is added on. Ramirez inside the box in that pass. Tackled out, cleared. Halfway line, Guatemala getting it back. They pump it long. Keller comes out and gets it on the bounce. Long ball the other way. Johnson was looking for it. Ball is there too. Guatemala clearing it. Less than a half minute to go. Bocanegra. Noonan. Johnson gets by his man. Still with the ball, and then finally stripped of it. Help is coming there. Knocked out for a goal kick, which might be the final kick of the game. This should do it. Strong performance today by Landon Donovan and his team. USA dominating tonight in Birmingham. Waiting for the referee to end this one, but instead it's a free kick for Guatemala. Ramirez, who came close earlier, looks like he'll be the one to take it. From about 26 yards out, strikes it. Keller with a nice save there to preserve the shutout. Pushed across, another shot coming. That's deflected, and Keller's got that. Nearly 4 minutes gone in stoppage time. That ball goes out of play. And now this game is beyond 4 minutes in stoppage. 2-0 U.S. leading Guatemala. Got it down. Guatemala looking for it. That's Davila. Blocked. That's going to do it. U.S. wins 2-0. 37th shutout career-wise for Casey Keller. Big win, 3 points. Good performance by the guys in the back. Steve Ralston, insurance goal. Eddie Johnson, game's first goal. This one could have been a much bigger score than it actually was. USA 2, Guatemala nothing. When we come back, we will try to chat with Landon Donovan of the USA national team from Birmingham. U.S. gets a big win, 3 points over Guatemala, 2-0. We're joined downstairs by Landon Donovan. Landon, this is a big bounce-back game, both for the team and for you personally as well, for the game against Mexico.
Yeah, absolutely. We struggled, especially in the first half against Mexico, and it was more attitude. And we came out just, Bruce said, I don't care how many mistakes you guys make, go forward, be aggressive, and that's how we play best.
All right, everybody's talking now about what's going to happen tomorrow. Press conference in Los Angeles. What can you tell us about tomorrow?
I think we can all assume. But I just need peace of mind. And I think you saw tonight when I have peace of mind, I play a lot better. And that's what I needed.
Welcome back to Major League Soccer. Landon Donovan joining us. Strong game for him and the USA national team here in Birmingham, Alabama. The win versus Guatemala. Final score here in Birmingham. USA 2, Guatemala no score. Major League Soccer action coming your way on Saturday. We hope you'll join us for that. Coming up next is tennis. The ATP Series NASDAQ 100 Open of the women's quarterfinal. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. We thank you for joining us tonight. For Marcelo Balboa and our entire crew, I'm JP Della Camera. Good night from Birmingham.